It's a huge debate today on Full Time Devils, Chelsea versus Manchester United. So we have got Sophie here from CFC Fans TV. Hello, Sophie. Adam McCullough is here as well. We all know Adam, of course, from Full Time Devils. I mean, you don't need me to explain this. Sophie is going to be representing Chelsea. Adam's going to be representing United. Let's get straight into it and talk about a topic which I think Adam will probably prefer talking about. And it's, to be honest, right, it's the only real way that we could start this debate with a win for the Reds, I think. And that is talking about past Manchester United and Chelsea memories. Yeah, we're going straight in and talking about history, apparently. Adam, some of your favourite United-Chelsea memories, please. And I know there's a blaring obvious.
I've got so many ones, so many. There's obviously the obvious ones, 2008 in Moscow. John Terry Slips United win the Champions League. It was a glorious night and one of the best nights of my life. Like, I know in 99 when we won the Champions League, we completed the treble. It was amazing. But I was 10 years old. I thought that was going to happen every year. I didn't quite understand it. But when it happened in 08, I was like 19, and just to enjoy that was amazing. But also the 94 Cup final was the first Cup final I can ever really remember, when we won 4-0 against Chelsea. And there's a Cup game at Stamford Bridge, 5-3. Beckham scored 2. And he stood in front of the Chelsea fans like that with both hands on his ears. And I had the poster on my wall for years. So that's another thing that I was just a Beckham fanboy. So yeah, those memories are great. Some great games over the years. And there's a 3-3 at Old Trafford, which I went to as a kid as well. 3-3. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank scored.
I love Jimmy
scored. It was Ranieri's first game in English football, I think.
I realise that this is maybe slightly unfair of a question to start with to ask Chelsea, to ask Sophie, sorry, not Chelsea, because obviously your club's only actually been around for 15 years. But Sophie, favourite United-Chelsea memories for you, please?
So mean to me. Every time I come on here, I'm not going to do one of these again.
I mean to Chelsea, not mean to you.
Yeah, whatever. No, I'm honestly, congratulations for winning the Champions League that year, because we then went on to win it much more recently. And I think we've been a better club ever since. But my favourite memories, I would say, one that stands out for me actually was back in 2016 when Mourinho came back to the Bridge. Do you remember when Pedro scored in the first minute and you lost 4-0? Do you remember that one, Adam?
I don't remember it.
Ring bells?
No, I don't remember it. I've wiped the whole last 5 years out of my memory.
No, but I was worried. I was so worried about that game, and we came out and we were so good, so dominant, kept a clean sheet, and I think it's very rare that you see 4-0s in such big games these days. So that's a favourite memory. And in terms of Old Trafford, I'll be honest, whenever I've been up there, it's always resulted in a 1-1 or a 0-0. So I haven't got very many exciteful memories up there. But I think as the season continues, and especially I'm looking forward to this game at the weekend, because I think we're slightly, ahead of you by like 7 points. So I'm really interested. I'm really interested to see what goes down on Saturday.
I was saying this to Chris before, because my prime time really watching football was in the noughties, and Chelsea were quite tight defensively during that period, so there weren't really many incredible United versus Chelsea games. However, obviously the blaring obvious for United fans, 2008, that Champions League final, best day of my life. I was there in Moscow in the stands. I remember when Ronaldo actually missed the penalty, and I started crying. I was like, that's it. We've come all the way to Russia for no reason. I was 12, 13 years old.
I was young at the time. I did cry when we lost that. It was a very sad moment because I thought that was it. Me and my sister were watching it on the television. We thought that Chelsea had won it, and then obviously it weren't to be.
What happened then? What happened next? So tell us.
Talk us through it.
I don't want to talk you through it.
Just tell us what you saw. What happened?
I'll tell you what happened next. We had a slight. You know what I like? I like you have those really bad memories. We have those really bad memories, so that when it gets to the point where you actually do win it, it means more. And that night in Munich for us was just as good as your memories that you have in Russia. So yeah, I think we're even there.
Fair enough.
I think what she's saying is these 5 years of Mourinho.
Well, ever since Ferguson left,
it feels like 5 years of Mourinho.
So that's not my fault that you're extremely bitter at the moment. But
we're not bitter. We're so happy.
You're not happy, Adam. You said you were dreading this video before the start of the video. Don't lie.
I did not.
We put it on the outtakes.
I did not.
I always think that Chelsea United is kind of a weird rivalry. I mean, it's not because I don't know, maybe you disagree when I say this, but it doesn't seem like a rivalry which is quite as intense as, say, Arsenal and Man United or Chelsea and Spurs. Why is that? How would you sum up this rivalry, Adam?
Why is that? there's not really many historical links between the clubs. Like with Arsenal, even before I was born, like they were having fights on the pitch and stuff. And it's just something that kind of happens against them. But with Chelsea, I think the rivalry has always meant something when there has been a rivalry there, it's always been because we've been challenging for the top honours. And I think that's a great thing. Like, wow, it wasn't great at the time because I remember feeling in 2005 like, oh man, these lot are just going to win everything all the time and nothing's going to happen. And it was around the time we have Ronaldo and Rooney coming through. And once they came through and just peaked, it was amazing. But as for Chelsea, the rivalry's never really been there for me. But it's when we do hate them, it's because we're both going for the same trophies.
I think there's also like slightly less on the rivalry. And I don't want to make this seem too friendly here. However, with United, if it's not going to be us winning the league, then it's probably Chelsea, the team that we slightly prefer over the other ones, because who else is it going to be? Arsenal or Liverpool or City?
Arsenal, the league.
I mean, I know it's not going to happen this year, but I mean, in past years when you've looked at who's going to win it, if it's not going to be us. How would you look at Manchester United? What's sort of the view of the rivalry from Chelsea fans, Sophie?
You know what I think of when I think of the rivalry between Chelsea Tottenham or Chelsea Arsenal, they're huge London derbies. There are North London rivals, and for me, I mean, Spurs away is one of the biggest away days of the season. I mean, we're even segregated. The police segregate us. You know, it's a bit like a European away when you go away and you've got to stand you've got to be in the ground for another 2 hours after the game's finished. And you don't really have any of that. The way I look at United versus Chelsea, more so now Mourinho's there, is it's who's technically going to get it right, because we know how Mourinho will set out his team. We know you'll play quite defensively. I expect Fellaini will play. You know, I think it's more which manager gets which manager one-ups the other, as well as the other games I think of going to, especially the derbies, are more who's more up for it, whose fans are up for it. That's the way I see it. So like I said, I think Adam's completely right. It's who is the better side. I don't think it's so much of a we absolutely hate each other, because I think a lot of Chelsea fans I know anyway, although we dislike you a lot, you've got quite a lot of history. You're a decent club, and we couldn't say the same for Spurs. So I think it's much more of a technical. The way I look at it is who's gonna get it right on the day, and go either way. I don't think they're ever. I mean, I think out of all the games, maybe United games haven't been the most exciting I've been to. Very nerve-wracking, of course, because it's like I say, whose star players in each team are gonna show up on the day.
Okay, well, here's a comparison I didn't think I'd be making at this point in the season. If someone told me 6 months ago I'd be comparing these two players, I probably wouldn't have believed them.
I did think it was weird when I seen the sheet.
Lukaku versus Giroud. Which one's better? It's genuinely a legitimate question, though, at the moment. So, Sophie, let's start with you.
I'll say, listen, I'm quite a big fan of Lukaku. From Chelsea to Everton to where he is now. I will say the thing about Giroud is, and what Giroud is doing very well at the moment for Chelsea, is even without goals, fans like his all-round play, as well as, for instance, if Morata's on the field, he doesn't, it's more or less a waste of a player when he's not having a good day. Giroud is a great substitute, and I think he's just got an eye for the ball. So at the moment, I would say Giroud, but if you'd asked me this a couple of years ago, of course I would have said Lukaku is the better player. I just think he's obviously in a bit of a pickle.
Adam, hearing Sophie describe Giroud then, it almost sounds like she's describing the polar opposite of Lukaku, a player who's, quite good on the ball, has very good all-round play, but isn't getting the goals, whereas Lukaku, it almost seems like the goals he's scoring are forgiving him for other things in his play where he's falling off a little bit.
Giroud hasn't even scored a goal this season.
No. Didn't at the World Cup either, and won it.
Which says it all, considering Lukaku scored 4 for the club. And I think he's scored about 6 in 6 for his country this season as well. He's on fire for Belgium. For Manchester United, he's suffering from a lack of confidence at the minute. But I don't think you can compare the two. Yes, I think Giroud is a lot better maybe with his hold-up play, holding the ball with his back to goal and all that kind of stuff and linking things up. But I think Romelu Lukaku is a goal scorer. He'll get you goals. Now, obviously, we want to see more from him in the bigger games. But my argument to that would be the way Manchester United play in those bigger games is always on the back foot. We're never looking to make chances for our number 9. We're never looking to create things, and we're trying to almost grab 0-0s in some of these games. So I do feel sorry for him in the big games, because how can he score goals when we're playing such crap football? But this season we haven't played the biggest of teams. He has had his chances and he's been missing a lot of them. He's lacking confidence. His all-round play is poor, but I still wouldn't swap him for Olivier Giroud. I do think Giroud's great though. I really do. I think at 15.
When Giroud came back from the World Cup, the majority of fans I spoke to said he played very well, and I thought, well, he didn't.
No, he did, but we're still talking.
Giroud didn't have a better World Cup than
0 goals this season. Lukaku had a fantastic World Cup. Well, people just need to see that.
Is his confidence down to Mourinho?
Some of our players aren't playing this way because they're bad players. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, you can't.
You think that Lukaku's hold-up play is the way it is because of Mourinho?
No, but what I'm saying is, you can lack confidence. You can play a style of football that is more beneficial to your striker. Why don't we play a style of football where our number 9's in the box more, rather than trying to come up and link play and all that stuff? Allow people to create for him. But forget that, I don't want to get into that. Romelu Lukaku, he deserves to be back. The boy's got 31 goals in 62 games.
He's a great player. I'm not doubting that. If you'd asked me this a couple of years ago, I would have said.
If you're telling me to swap him for Giroud, I like Giroud. I'm not his biggest critic, but nah, come on, man. The goals
Giroud, when he came to the club, fans thought he was going to be our second choice striker. And unfortunately, our £70 million striker hasn't done much. He sort of had to come into the mix a little bit more and try and prove himself. So that's why we've seen a lot more of him. And you can't deny at the moment, if you look at Chelsea's game, when Giroud has been on the pitch, even without scoring a goal, we've got results and we've won games. So it will be interesting to see. I think, like I say, I think this game is going to be who has the one on the other. So I think depends how Lukaku does on the day. I don't think Lukaku and Mourinho do too well together anyway, if I'm being honest.
Well, you got to say though, Giroud scored 5 goals for Chelsea since January. Romelu Lukaku scored that basically this season, and he's out of form.
And you're complaining.
If you're judging two strikers,
I say Lukaku is the better striker overall. I'm just saying, I don't think on this day it's going to help you.
Exactly right. So there we go. We've got the win there, haven't we? We'll take that as a win. That's it. Right, let's move on swiftly before she changes her mind. Right, on the way, we're going to be talking about the managers and the final league position. Who is going to finish above each other this year, United or Chelsea? We'll be talking about it next.
Don't even lie. You've got to be honest in these debates, or just a tiny bit.
Right, let's get straight back into it. Sophie, very honest in the last point, really. Conceded defeat, I think, in that one, in that Lukaku is a better player than Olivier Giroud. Are we going to be getting the same from the red side of this debate now as we ask, who will finish higher in the Premier League this season? Chelsea, 7 points above us in October at the minute, Adam. I mean, I want to be back in United, and I want to be saying that we're going to be finishing higher. What could possibly happen to make that happen, Adam? Give me some optimism.
The only thing that gives me a little bit of optimism, obviously we've got to play them twice. Stamford Bridge games I'm never confident about anyway. But they're in the Europa League as well. And the Europa League can always cause problems to your league campaign somewhere down the road. Now, I could be saying this, and in 2 months' time, Manchester United could be in the Europa League too. So it could completely backfire in my face. But maybe that is something where Chelsea's Premier League run could hit a little bit of a snag. That's why I don't think Arsenal can win the league this season as well. When you're in the Europa League, it's too hard to do well in both. But having said that, from the evidence that we've been shown between August and now, it looks like Sarri's getting more out of his team. It looks like Sarri's getting players that are confident, players that are looking to play football. He's getting the best out of Eden Hazard. And yes, Manchester United had a great 20 minutes against Newcastle, but can you say that is... Look, Chelsea, even if they have a bad Europa League, they have a good run in the Europa League and it affects their league campaign, the lowest they'll finish, I think, is 4th. Manchester United, I think, at this moment, we're kind of hoping for 4th. So to me, Chelsea will finish above us.
Conceding.
Well done, Adam.
Sophie, you know, you don't even need to come back at it, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Why do you think that Chelsea are definitely going to finish above Manchester United this season? I saw you pull a face when Adam says you could finish 4th. Yeah,
no chance. Listen, I had us down for top 4 when Sarri first came, because at the end of the day, the biggest criticism about Sarri that fans had from Chelsea and other fans in the Premier League from different teams was the fact that he's not very well established. He hasn't won any major league trophies, but that to me didn't matter. You know, we brought him in because of his style of football. He's got a very attacking style of football, and fans are absolutely loving going to the Bridge at the moment because it's actually really exciting football, which we haven't actually seen in ages. The year before, with Antonio Conte, he was having problems with the board, so he was almost protesting again. He would bring on players too late on in the game. You know, Sarri makes substitutions very early on if he can see things going wrong. He's getting the best out of, like you said, Eden Hazard. Ross Barkley's made an appearance this season. He had a great game against Southampton. Not only the goal that he scored, but just again his all-round play. He's settling in very well, so we can rotate him and Kovacic together, and I think Sarri does that really well. In terms of the Europa League, I don't think we've always been a very good club at not prioritising one thing over the other. Of course, the league to an extent, but we've never ever put out a really weak team against, you know, in the Europa League. We're still playing our best players. We still take that competition very seriously. We had a great game at Anfield. You know, all these. Sarri has proven nothing but excellent so far. And I think the main thing, obviously, other than that, is that at the moment he has a very good relationship with our board, and I think there's no behind the scenes problems. I think when that video came out of Pogba and Mourinho, who must have known that that was being filmed, and they were having a little bit of a tiff, whatever you want to call it. All those sorts of problems, Chelsea have seen firsthand how that can ruin your season. We had it with Mourinho, and we finished 10th. You know, our season went completely downhill. So
tell them, Soph. Tell me that.
If you're putting everything into consideration, you have to admit that Chelsea, with our all-round play at the moment, with our manager's relationship with the players, our manager's relationship with the board, we come out on top. So, of course, Chelsea are going to finish higher.
Remind me, I can't remember, you might not remember yourself, but what year was it that Chelsea won the Europa League again? Was it 2013, 14?
I was there in Amsterdam.
I do think the fact that Chelsea will be playing in the Europa League this season is going to be massive in terms of their league position this year.
That's what I'm saying, like, it can affect things, man. It can affect things. I know Sophie was saying that. It
does as well.
I know Sophie was saying that they play a strong team in Europa League, and that means it will affect your league form.
No,
whether it affects it enough.
I said since we play a strong team, I said we want to win trophies. We prioritise every trophy.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean that doesn't mean we're going to play all our top players in every single game. We did rotate the team. We did see Christensen back in the team. We did see other players back in the team that aren't featuring as much in the Premier League. I'm just saying I don't think that's going to affect our season. I really don't see it happening. So far, it hasn't happened. We've won all our games.
But the Europa League, just the Europa League being the competition that it is, you have to play an obscene amount of games to actually win the thing. So if Chelsea do go quite far in it, could affect their league form, I do think.
Right, thank you.
Right, let's talk about the managers. Guys, by the way, get in the comments below. Let us know what you think about what we're debating about today. I want to hear all the opinions. And let's get straight into it and talk about managers. I want a bit of positivity here, so we're not going to start with Adam. Sophie, tell me about Sarri and why he's miles better than what you had with Mourinho.
Oh my God, well, like I said before, I think he's come in and he's getting the best out of players. I think this could easily be Eden Hazard's best season yet for Chelsea. I think all the speculation about him going to Real Madrid, he's come out and said, he's happy if he stays or happy if he goes. He doesn't really mind. I think it's just a case of Chelsea putting pen to paper there. So, and I think he's enjoying playing under Sarri. And I think we've got a lot of players. The great thing about Sarri is not only our attacking style of play, is that he's able to rotate the squad very well. So, and we've got all the players in the right positions. He put Jorginho in straight away. I think when Hazard and Kovacic, when they both came out from the World Cup, Hazard wasn't featured straight away. Sarri, worked his way in, and I think that's worked out perfectly. We haven't got many injuries, so all bar I think Pedro got injured, and we did suffer slightly with that. But other than that, I think Sarri's proven nothing. But I mean, he's done a great job. We're unbeaten. We haven't lost a game so far this season, so I don't see how you can criticise that.
That's right, actually annoyingly sensible. I kind of wanted you to come out and say, yeah, he's great, he's miles better than Mourinho, and then Adam could say, yeah, but...
Of course, I went to the NFL on Sunday, and some fans stopped me at the tube station. They said to me, you're not worried that he's going to be a little bit like Jurgen Klopp or Pochettino, where you're playing amazing football, you're not winning a trophy. And I said, no, I'm not worried about that, actually, and I think time will tell. But I think one thing that Chelsea are very good at is getting to finals and finishing those games off. So I'm really, really excited to see what he does this season.
That's it. I mean, there's positivity about him, but I don't think you can get like too carried away 2 months into a job versus one of the greatest managers of all time, Adam. Don't you agree?
Well, stop complaining about him then. You're being biased. Adam can't deny the fact that that you're losing patience. That's what it is. You're losing patience.
Adam, look at what he's won compared to this other fella. Who is he? He eats cigarettes on the side of the pitch.
Mourinho's got the better eyesight than Sarri, I'll have you know.
That's
only
it.
joking. Look, the only thing Sarri's ever won in his life is Serie A Coach of the Year. Let's be real. He's won absolutely nada. He is nothing. He's unproven. Yes, he's had a good start to the campaign, but regardless of my opinions on Jose Mourinho, regardless of my thoughts of him, regardless on whether he gets sacked tomorrow at Manchester United, I've got to come out and defend him here. I can't let all these people down.
Points behind us in October.
Listen, I can't let these people that love Jose down in the comments because they're going to absolutely and I have to defend him here because I can't let you guys have a cigarette eating one like Sarri telling me he's better than Mourinho. I cannot have it. He hasn't won a thing.
Currently, he is the better manager.
Nothing.
Currently, he is the better manager.
Yeah.
Have you lost a game this season, Adam? Have you lost a game this season?
Yes, but...
Have Chelsea lost a game this season? No. What are you talking about?
Listen, but what have you got for that at the moment? Nothing. At the moment, we've both won exactly the same. Nothing.
I think it was the other way around. If it was the other way around and Sarri was 7 points behind United at this point in the season in October, you would be slating him like God knows.
I would be. But I'd also expect that. And also, like, you've got to see as well, Sarri's just come in at Chelsea. So how long is this positive improvement going to be? You always see an upturn in results with a new manager. How long will that last? Look, if he wins the league this season, I'll come out and say he's better than Mourinho. Yes. But right now,
even so,
absolutely.
Pep Guardiola says Sarri's one of the best around.
So you win a league title and you're better than Jose Mourinho? What?
He's ate more sleeves of fags than he's won trophies.
He can meet as many as too. As long as it wins us points, it's all good.
For any of our American viewers confused watching that, we are talking about cigarettes. Moving on. Predictions for the game then from both of you. Is it going to be a thrashing? Is it going to be sort of like a classic Chelsea United game where it's quite tight? Sophie, prediction?
I'm going to go 3-1. I think you will nick a goal. I think it's unrealistic to think that you won't. I think obviously Mourinho will have a game plan, but with the likes of Eden Hazard on the pitch, and I don't know if you've seen our new signings in Kovacic and Jorginho and those lot, then we're such a solid improvement. Huh?
What are new signings?
God, so bitter. It's not a good look. I said 3-1. I've been realistic. I've given you a goal. Jesus Christ.
Depressed Adam's great, Adam, innit? Adam, what score are you saying?
Be realistic now, Adam.
1-0 to Chelsea.
No! I was going to give you the win. I wanted to let you win the debate. It's a United channel.
United, Anthony Marshall to score. I was going to save Jose's job again. Or use like that God's Anthony Marshall and he saved your boy's job. How about it?
And on that note, we will leave it there. Obviously, I'm going to give the win to Adam because it's Full-Time Devils. We're a Man United channel. I'm going to give it to the Man United fan. But Sophie, thank you very much for...
No, I just won that. Hands down.
To be honest, yeah, listening
to be fair, everyone in the YouTube comments and in the poll is going to give you the win, so do not worry about it.
That's exactly it. If you want to vote for Sophie, go and vote in the corner there.
Policy, Adam.
I'll let you guys decide the winner, not me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Guys, get in the comments below. Sophie, thank you very much for joining us today from CFC Fan TV. Adam, yeah, you're all right too. We'll see you next time. Laters.
Bye, guys.